This is Dan Dicks here reporting for Press for Truth. UK firm GSK, formerly known as GlaxoSmithKline, to pay $2.2 billion over Zantac cancer claims. UK pharmaceutical giant GSK says it will pay as much as $2.2 billion to settle thousands of cases in US courts over claims that a discontinued version of its heartburn drug Zantac caused cancer. Imagine that, guys. You got a little bit of heartburn, so you take a pill for that, and next thing you know, you've got cancer. Well, it shouldn't be that surprising to people that GSK is involved with something like this. I mean, if you go to their very public Wikipedia page, you just look at the list of controversies. It goes on and on and on. There are just countless settlements with this company over all the very bad practices they've been doing. And I'll put links to all this in the description so you can check it out. But in a related story, as we see here, Roundup weed killer cancer lawsuit keeps mounting as a Pennsylvania man was just awarded $78 million. The company has already reached nearly $11 billion in settlements. And the company in question here, of course, is Monsanto. I remember back when they were first ordered to pay $289 million in the first Roundup cancer trial. Well, in case you didn't know, guys, Monsanto was bought out by Bayer. Bayer closes Monsanto acquisition. Bayer successfully completed the acquisition of Monsanto. Shares in the U.S. company will no longer be traded on the New York Stock Exchange, with Bayer now the sole owner of the Monsanto company. And of course, Bayer is one of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies that is now venturing into the sector of farming and agriculture. And in case you didn't know, guys, 9 out of 10 of the Food and Drug Administration's commissioners between 2006 and 2019 went on to work for the pharmaceutical companies that they were in charge of regulating. 65% of the FDA's drug review budget comes directly from the pharmaceutical industry, like these guys who just moved on from the FDA to Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson. That's why this study shouldn't be too surprising either. Drug trials funded by manufacturers find 50% greater drug effectiveness. Surprise, surprise, right? Drug studies sponsored by drug manufacturers tend to report higher drug efficiency than studies that are not sponsored by the drug company. So essentially, the report discovered that there's a sponsorship effect happening here that tends to bias sponsored studies towards reporting higher drug efficiencies. If you guys saw my interview with G. Edward Griffin a few years back, this would make much more sense to you because he breaks down how following the First and Second World Wars, companies like IG Farben of Germany and Standard Oil of the US began forming a cartel with the single goal of monopolizing the entire health and wellness industry. Well, you fast forward to today, and you're going to find it's the same players with the same agendas. So we're going to talk about all of that and much, much more in this video, guys. But really quickly, just before we do, I'd ask that you check me out right here at subscribestar.com. If you subscribestar.com/pressfortruth if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this info. Here you can sign up for $5 a month or $10 a month or $20 a month. Whatever is within your means, guys, is very greatly appreciated. I cannot continue to do this work without the support that comes directly from you, the viewers. So thank you so much to everybody who takes just a minute or two today to sign up at subscribestar.com/pressfortruth. You can click that top link in the description below on whatever video platform you happen to be watching this on. All right, guys, I wanted to show you this. I found this video that I put out 15 years ago when I was covering the H1N1 vaccination program in Toronto, and back then I was explaining how GlaxoSmithKline, the company who was putting on the vaccines at the time, had already set themselves up with the Canadian courts to prevent any type of litigation against them should there be some complaints about the vaccines, should any side effects happen to occur. Again, I filmed this in June of 2009. This is 15 years ago. Check this out. GlaxoSmithKline, the company who is manufacturing the vaccines currently here in Canada, may be given a blanket immunity by the Canadian government. Now, what this will mean will be that if your child gets sick, if you get sick, if somebody in your family dies, you will not be allowed to sue the manufacturing company of the vaccinations. And in fact, if you do try to take them to court, the Canadian government will provide the funds to defend the manufacturing company. I mean, I was, clearly trying to explain that is a huge red flag, or at least should have been, in the minds of everybody who was lining up at the time to take the H1N1 inoculation. But, you fast forward right now, and you've still got companies like GlaxoSmithKline, who I was warning about, doing the same types of things, and now they've just been ordered to pay a couple $2 billion over cancer claims. The firm just announced that it had reached an agreement with 10 law firms who represent around 80,000 claimants. This settlement accounts for 93% of all of these cases, guys. GSK is also paying $70 million to resolve a whistleblower complaint by the laboratory that alleged the drug maker defrauded the U.S. government by concealing Zantac's cancer risks. That's another huge part of this, the fact that they, tried to cover this up. They did not admit any wrongdoing in any of the cases. The company said in a statement to investors that while there's no consistent or reliable evidence the drug increases the risk of cancer, the settlement will remove the significant financial uncertainty. So we're just going to, kind of blot this out and forget about that. And remarkably, guys, to my amazement, GSK shares have just jumped on the news that they're going to be settling $2.2 billion settlement. This is mind-boggling right here. GSK shares just jumped as much as 6.5% after the British drug maker struck a $2.2 billion settlement over U.S. lawsuits that alleged that its discontinued heartburn drug Zantac caused cancer. So, people who were kind of riding this whole thing out, saying, oh no, the company is being accused of potentially causing cancer, and that was a few years ago, and stock kind of went down, and they wrote it out, and now, GSK is just saying, you know what, we're just going to pay these people off, let's just hush this whole thing. We don't believe it's true, but we're just going to pay them off anyways. And then everybody who's involved in the stock is like, yay, let's jump back in. Let's pump more money into this. That is absolutely insane, especially when you consider how many controversies there are. Again, this is just from the Wikipedia page about how many payoffs there have been. Billions and billions and billions of dollars have gone into just shutting people up and silencing them about all the bad things they're doing that are literally causing people to get cancer, and they've just got the money to just brush it all off. Guys, you seriously need to take your health into your own hands in a big way. I wanted to share something with you that I've recently taken on and started doing. I decided to get, serious about getting healthy recently. A little over a year ago, I quit drinking alcohol. It's not like I was drinking a lot, but I just wanted to start taking major steps in the right direction for the betterment of my health. And on September 1st, that's 42 or 43 days ago, I started a 3-month-long experiment with the carnivore diet. I only eat meat now. I don't eat any carbs, no sugars, no fruits or vegetables, no nuts or grains, nothing, just meat. And I gotta tell you guys, it's been fan-frickin-tastic. I feel great. I love what I'm eating. I eat bacon and eggs every day, steak all the time, cheeseburgers without the bun or the condiments or the sauces or anything like that. But, chicken, I love this, and it's been phenomenal. I've only been on this for 42 days. I'm doing a 3-month experiment. I'm already down 18 pounds, and I've got so much more energy. I feel so much better, and I just wanted to share that with you, that I'm absolutely blown away right now by the carnivore diet. And as I understand it, there's a great deal of things that go on with the body when you do something like this. I'm also doing intermittent fasting right now. I fast for 16 hours a day. I only eat between an 8-hour period. So coupled with the quitting the alcohol, with the doing the intermittent fasting and jumping onto the carnivore diet, I'm feeling absolutely fantastic. I'm in better shape than I've been in a very long time, and I'm probably staving off potential cancers that I've been potentially getting from God knows what, from companies like Bayer and Monsanto and GlaxoSmithKline. So I just wanted to share that with you. That's something I've been doing. I also want to remind you, if you haven't seen my interview with G. Edward Griffin titled Big Pharma in the Age of COVID-19 84, I would strongly recommend you to check that one out as well, guys. I'll put a link to that in the description below. So just wanted to bring all of this to your attention today, guys. Once again, if you do appreciate my efforts to do so, don't forget to check me out right here at subscribestar.com/pressfortruth. Again, $5 a month, $10, whatever is within your means is very greatly appreciated, guys. I can't do this work without support coming directly from you, the viewers. So thank you so much to everybody who does contribute in that way. And that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button, share this video, and stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dicks reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.